Hello and welcome everyone to today's session, which is about adverbs and adjectives, and to be precise, descriptive adjectives and adverbs of manner. We're going to be looking at the functions and types of these adjectives and adverbs, and also looking at some exceptions and common mistakes. So, starting with adjectives, what is the function of a descriptive adjective? As the name suggests, these adjectives describe someone or something. Now, these can come before the noun that they describe or after a linking verb. So we can say, this is a beautiful painting. Painting is the thing, the noun, and beautiful is the adjective. Or we can use a linking verb like is and separate them. This painting is beautiful. Now, there are two main types of descriptive adjectives. The ordinary ones that you all know, beautiful, happy, green, difficult, great, etc. But we also have a specific type called participle adjectives. And these adjectives are formed from a verb. For example, let's take the verb interest and say that the sentence is, these topics interest my students. From the verb interest, we can create two types of participle adjectives. One is called present participle adjective, that is with ing, interesting, and the other one is a past participle adjective, formed with ed, interested. Present participle adjectives describe people or objects. For example, these topics are interesting for my students. Then past participle adjectives describe feelings and attitudes. My students are interested in these topics. And sometimes they can get confused with each other. We will look at some common mistakes here. So that's all about adjectives, descriptive adjectives. What about adverbs, and particularly adverbs of manner? They are related to adjectives that describe. So adverbs of manner are usually formed from one of these descriptive adjectives and ly. And they describe an action, not a noun, not a thing, a person, but an action. And they usually come after the verb. For example, Peter paints, now we have a verb, an action, beautifully. Now, if you want to emphasize this adverb, or if you have a very long object, separating this adverb from the verb, you can also put this adverb before the verb. For example, you can say, Peter beautifully painted the scene in the postcard. Now, I hope you noticed that now that I have put it before the verb, I'm also stressing it with my voice. It's not Peter beautifully painted, it's Peter beautifully painted. So because it's for emphasis, it's also important that you emphasize it with your voice when you speak as well. So what else about the functions of adverbs of manner? They can also describe an adjective, another adverb, or a whole sentence. So you know that their main function is to describe an action, but they can also describe an adjective, another adverb, or a whole sentence. For example, this is a truly beautiful painting. Peter paints truly beautifully. Or for the whole sentence, truly, Peter is the best artist I know. Right, that is the information. But now we come to the exceptions, because this is the English language. There are always exceptions. The first one is that there are also some adjectives ending in ly. So don't think that every time you see a word and ending in ly, it's an adverb. Examples of adjectives ending in ly are friendly, lovely, lonely, lively, deadly, orderly, costly, elderly, manly, silly, ugly, and there are more, but these are some common ones. Now, phonetically, it's very awkward to add ly to an adjective that already ends in ly. It's very strange to say lovelily So that doesn't happen phonetically. We cannot add ly to these adjectives. And if you occasionally want to use these adjectives as an adverb, then you must just put them in a phrase with words like way or manner or fashion. So for example, of course, we can say they formed an orderly queue. Here, queue is the noun and orderly is the adjective describing it. But because we don't have orderly, if we now have a verb like they queued, you need to finish with a phrase like in an orderly way, or in an orderly manner, or in an orderly fashion. So that's the first exception to be careful with. The second one is that some adjectives and adverbs have exactly the same form. There is no ly that we add. And the most common ones I have listed for you are hard, short, late, early, long, fast, fine, far, and straight. So we say she has a hard job. So here hard is the adjective, but also she works hard. There is no ly or no change. It's the same word as an adjective or an adverb. There are also some ly words that are formed with time periods like daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. And these are also both adverbs and adjectives. So we would say this is a quarterly report. It is published quarterly. There is no change in the word. Now I have 3 notes on this exception for you. The first one is that there is one adverb that is completely different from its adjective form, and that is the adverb well, which belongs to the adjective good. Good, well. So she is a good cook, but she cooks well. Be careful with that one. Second note is about the adjective loud. Loud has an adverbial form, loudly, but both loud and loudly are used as adverbs. So you can say he plays the radio too loud or too loudly. Both are acceptable in standard English. Now, last note that you may also hear these 3 other adjectives, real, quick, and slow, used as adverbs, but this is not standard English. This would be regional English. I would recommend that you don't do that. Don't say, you will hear things like, the food was real nice. It's very American. I wouldn't. Keep it to the adverb that it should be. The food was really nice. Or I wouldn't say, walk quick. Again, it's regional, it's non-standard. Keep it to the adverb because walk is a verb. Walk quickly, walk slowly. Right, I have one third exception, and that is there are 3 words, hard, short, and late, that we saw are both adverbs and adjectives with the same meaning. You can add ly to these 3 words to create new adverbs, but the meaning changes completely. We now have a new idea, a new meaning, and they are not adverbs of manner. They're different adverbs. So hardly means almost not. For example, I could hardly see the stage. Shortly means soon. It's an adverb of time. I'll be in touch with you shortly. And lately is a synonym for recently, like I haven't been abroad lately. Okay. So these are the exceptions, and now I'd like to finish, therefore, by pointing out 2 very common mistakes that I hear. The first one is using an adjective to describe an action. That's less common, but very common to describe an adjective or an adverb. For example, I often hear things like, that was a good structured program. Now, structured is an adjective, as you have now seen, is a participle adjective. So if you're going to add more information to this adjective, you need to use an adverb. So not good structured, but well structured. Another example, an ordinary adjective, friendly. This is a friendly project. Okay, now if you want to add more information, describe it further, describe friendly further. It's not, this is an environmental friendly project. This is an environmentally friendly project. Again, a very common mistake. Be careful of that one. Or, for example, she speaks extreme slowly. It's an adverb. If you have an adverb and you give more information about this adverb, describe the adverb, it's another adverb. She speaks extremely slowly. So that's one to be careful with. And finally, another common one I hear to be careful with is using an adverb after a linking verb. A linking verb is not about an action. It doesn't describe an action. A linking verb describes the subject of the sentence. It's still about the person or the object. So we must use adjectives with that. So examples of linking verbs you can see in the sentence. The solution was, seemed, looked, sounded, felt. And now we see these verbs and we think, oh, okay, adverb, easily. No, we are describing the solution. Therefore, the last word should be an adjective. The solution was, seemed, looked, sounded, or felt easy. Right, that's the end of the presentation, the lesson on adverbs and adjectives. I hope it has clarified any points or questions that you may have had. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. For more on this topic, click here. Remember to also check out my complete online course, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and happy studies!